Carl Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. That profoundly insightful quote underpins everything I want to talk about in this video today. So before I start, if you do like my content, then please do subscribe and leave a comment and let me know what you think about what I'm going to say today. So that quote for me kind of like defines the essence of what I'm doing at the moment, because I've titled the video why am I doing this? So why am I taking a stand and speaking up on a public platform, you know, leaving myself open to, I don't know, ridicule, criticism, vilification, because we know that they are the risks in producing content where you're leaving yourself vulnerable to, you know, to exposure, particularly at a time when the view that you are espousing is one that challenges the overarching, aggressively militant mainstream view. So that quote about darkness by Carl Jung, he also says about how a person cannot, until the person recognises the darkness within themselves, they can't see darkness outwardly. Thus, if you're unable to recognise the innate potential for darkness within your own soul, this applies to absolutely everybody, then you're not going to be conscious, or you're leaving yourself open to the possibility of not being conscious, of descending into those depths of darkness, which is the risk that a society takes when the overriding atmosphere is one of fear, propaganda, paranoia, which is, I would argue, what we have now. Sorry, I've got to negotiate some very muddy puddles here. I'm walking right along the edge of the canal. Let's hope we don't fall in. Okay. My arm's hurting as well because I haven't found my selfie stick. Just give me 1 sec. Sorry about this. There we go. And yes, so that is an incredibly important and insightful observation, because what I want to talk about is so why am I doing what I'm doing? So I'm a firm believer of get your house in order before you criticise the external world. Get your own house in order. Have I got my own house in order in my life? No. Definitely, comprehensively, no. There is room for improvement in so many areas, massive improvement in so many areas of my life. Relationships, health, financial, morality, right across the board there is. Am I trying and am I improving? Yes, I am. And the interesting concept, the interesting aspect is that since I have been speaking my truth from the deepest, most soulful level in the past few months, I am seeing other areas of my life aligning, like my relationships. My relationship with my girlfriend Sarah, for example, is the best it's ever been. And I know that it's not down to just me, it's down to her as well, but it's certainly, as I realise that everything in life is based on truth. Truth is integrity, it's honesty, it's the very beating heart of who we are as individuals. So yes, I feel like I am improving. I feel like I'm moving towards the light. But have I got my house in order? Well, no, I've not. So that makes me feel, when I do these videos, a bit hypocritical. And that's what this video is about. It's about recognising that I am part of this problem that we have created, and we've all created this. This actually isn't a government created problem. It's not a media created problem. It's not a UN created problem, a World Economic Forum created problem. And I could go on and on about the other the other multiple contributory factors to where we are at the moment, but I'm not going to do that. What this is a problem of, in my opinion, is a society that has become lackadaisical, that has become apathetic, that's become lazy, and has become cowardly, thus ripe to manipulation by dark forces, maybe such as the ones I've just mentioned there. So I've got some more mud to negotiate here. I'm right on the edge of the canal. There we go. Sorry, can't concentrate on trying to be insightful whilst at the first time teetering on the edge of a freezing cold canal. Here we go. Right, okay, survived that. A society that's lazy, apathetic, lethargic, yes, is one ripe for manipulation, and I was part of that. Even though I would say ever since I was very, very young, I've always looked at life and thought it has more depth and breadth to it than society, whatever you want to call society, tells us that it has. I was always a little bit confused that so many people followed a template for life, confused around the materialistic and money orientated goals of many people. However, also fell into that trap myself, and probably to an extent continue to do. Okay, bit of an obstacle course now. And maybe because I didn't understand myself enough, wasn't brave enough, I'd say until the last year, I've not really existed and lived from a position of pure truth. I say pure truth, nothing is nobody is purely truthful, but I mean working towards living through personal truth, personal values, purpose, meaning. But I still have so much work to do on myself, so much work with regard to self-care, discipline, willpower, like I say, relationships, prioritizing, doing more, speaking out, loads and loads and loads of positive work still to do on this voyage of mine. But to go back to the question, why am I doing what I do, despite sometimes feeling hypocritical, sometimes feeling judgmental, because let's be honest, I am I am judgmental of society, thus those in it, but I want people to realise that I include myself in that. What the difference is, I feel like I could see the problems and maybe do something about it, and I look around and see, well, like I say, a society that's just sleepwalking at the moment. But yes, it does maybe in part make me a hypocrite because I haven't got my own house in order yet. If anyone ever does get their own house in order. But I feel that I've never felt almost, I guess you would deem it a calling. This is what I feel. My life makes sense at the moment, despite the difficulties, the uncertainties, the threat that hangs over me and everybody else in this society. My life has taken on a meaning, a deep and profound meaning. It has, because I know that what I'm doing is important, because this is a world that requires people, no matter who they are, what background they're from, what they've done. It requires people to speak personal truth. Hello, UK. People to say what they think and to back up with actions. And one thing I've learned about myself, despite the lack of discipline that I have, the lack of willpower, I'm lazy as well, I am, and I can be selfish, and these are all the areas I want to improve. But one thing I know that I am is brave. That is one aspect of my character. I've realised I'm brave and I'm resilient and I'm willing to take a risk. So I guess maybe for one of the first times in my life, I'm not putting myself first. I'm realising the importance of the bigger picture, and the bigger picture involves others in society, and it involves the next generation, the children who don't deserve any of this, don't deserve to come into a world, to exist in a world, and that's all they will be doing, existing in a world. They won't be living, existing in a world with no freedoms, very limited choice. That's not fair. And I passionately believe that every generation has and should take on the responsibility to defend those freedoms and choices for the next generation. And I don't think we're doing that. So that's why I'm doing this, despite not having my own house in order. Sometimes something is too important not to be tackled, and despite I'm not an authority on any of the subjects that I talk about. I'm not, but here's the point: you don't need to be. Nobody needs to be an authority. Nobody needs to be an expert. Nobody needs to have their own house in order. Just say what you think. Be brave. Stand up against the tyranny. Because for every day that goes by now, we will continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the darkness. And it will become more and more difficult to extricate ourselves as a society from that. So that's why I do this. So, just as one last final message, I guess I would say is that, honestly, 100%, the risks that you take in speaking your truth, and everybody knows what their truth is deep down, everyone does know. I knew, I just wasn't speaking it. The risks that you take in putting yourself out there, in making yourself vulnerable, and taking that risk of the uncertainty that you're stepping into. Honestly, the rewards that you get in terms of overall alignment in your life, a sense of peace and well-being, even set against a turbulent external world, is more than worth it. So that's what I would say. So that's why I'm doing this. Right, everyone, have a great weekend. What day is it? Sunday. A great rest of the weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.